Picture this, it's 1999. The Ryder Cup hangs in the balance. One putt could change everything. Justin Leonard steps up to a 45-foot birdie putt on the 17th green. The pressure is massive. He drains it. The crowd goes wild. But what happened next would haunt his legacy forever. You clicked on this video because you want to know the real story behind one of golf's most controversial moments. And trust me, what you're about to discover will completely change how you see Justin Leonard. But here's the thing, that famous putt, it's only part of the story. Because decades later, Leonard would do something that proved who he really is. Something that separates him from every other golfer on the planet. Let's go back to Brookline, Massachusetts. September 26, 1999. The Ryder Cup was slipping away from Team USA. They were down 10-6 heading into the final day. They needed the biggest comeback in Ryder Cup history just to tie. The atmosphere was electric and toxic. American fans were heckling European players. Reports say Colin Montgomery's father had to leave because of abuse. One spectator allegedly spat at Mark James's wife. This wasn't just golf anymore. This was war. Enter Justin Leonard, matched against Jose Maria Olazabal in the deciding match. All square through 16 holes. Everything came down to the 17th green. Leonard faced a 45-foot birdie putt. Miss it, and America's comeback dreams could die. Make it, and he'd guarantee at least a half point. That half point would be enough to win the Ryder Cup for America. The putt was perfect. It rolled and dropped right into the cup. Leonard had done it. He'd sealed the greatest comeback in Ryder Cup history. But then everything went wrong. American players stormed the green. Family members ran on. Even cameramen joined the celebration. They were jumping and screaming and hugging. There was just one problem. Jose Maria Olazabal still had a 22-foot putt to tie the hole. The Europeans were furious. Both American and European media called it appalling sportsmanship. Golf legend Alistair Cook described it as a date that will live in infamy. He called it the arrival of the golf hooligan. Leonard's heroic putt was overshadowed by chaos. His moment of brilliance became golf's most controversial celebration. Here's what makes Leonard's story so fascinating. That putt showcased everything that made him special. The mental toughness, the clutch gene, the ability to perform when it mattered most. Leonard wasn't the longest driver on tour. His average driving distance was around 270 yards when guys were hitting at 300. Forum users compared him to Corey Pavin for being short off the tee. But Leonard had something others didn't. An incredible short game and ice in his veins. This was a guy who won the 1997 Open Championship, one of golf's 4 major titles. He claimed 12 PGA Tour victories, including the prestigious 1998 Players' Championship. He spent 24 weeks in the top 10 of the world golf rankings. Leonard succeeded in an era that was all about power. While everyone else was trying to bomb it past the trees, Leonard was winning with precision and strategy. He proved that finesse could still beat force. His amateur career was equally impressive. Leonard won the 1992 U.S. Amateur Championship. He captured the 1994 NCAA Individual Championship and received the Haskins Award as the most outstanding collegiate golfer. He's one of only 5 players to win the U.S. Amateur, NCAA title, and a major championship. Leonard was so talented that he went straight from college to the PGA Tour without going through Q school. Only 4 golfers have ever done that. It shows just how special his early promise was. But that Ryder Cup moment stuck to him like glue. Every time someone mentioned his name, they talked about the controversy, the premature celebration, the poor sportsmanship. For decades, that's how people remembered Justin Leonard, as the guy at the center of golf's most embarrassing moment. Speaking of unforgettable golf moments, if you want to catch all the latest golf action without missing a beat, you need Fubo. Fubo gives you access to all the major golf tournaments, live sports coverage, and so much more. Whether it's the PGA Tour, major championships, or international golf events, Fubo has you covered. Check out the link in the description and get started with a free trial today. Fast forward to 2024. Leonard is now playing on the PGA Tour Champions. He's at the Rogers Charity Classic in Alberta, Canada. Just another tournament round, or so it seemed. During the first round, Leonard realized he'd made a mistake. He'd been using his rangefinder with the slope function turned on. Now, rangefinders are allowed on the Champions Tour, but the slope function is strictly prohibited. It measures elevation changes and gives players an unfair advantage. Here's where it gets interesting. Nobody saw Leonard use the slope function. No official caught him. He could have finished his round and nobody would have known. But that's not who Justin Leonard is. As soon as he realized his mistake, Leonard immediately called over an official. He explained what happened. And then he did something that shocked the golf world. He disqualified himself. The golf community went crazy. Social media exploded with praise. Comments poured in about his incredible integrity. People pointed out that these infractions happen all the time on lower tours and in club golf. But nobody calls it on themselves. Leonard gave up a chance to compete and potentially win money. He sacrificed his own interests to uphold the rules of golf. No cameras were rolling. No officials were watching. He did it because it was the right thing to do. This wasn't just good sportsmanship. This was a man showing his true character when nobody was looking. Think about the contrast. In 1999, Leonard was at the center of golf's biggest sportsmanship controversy. But it wasn't really his fault. He made an incredible putt under impossible pressure. The celebration got out of hand, but Leonard didn't control that. In 2024, when faced with a choice between personal gain and integrity, Leonard chose integrity, without hesitation, without anyone forcing his hand. This is what makes Leonard truly unique in professional golf. He's been at the center of both golf's most controversial moment and its most exemplary act of sportsmanship. But only one of those moments shows us who he really is. Leonard's success came from his exceptional short game and putting prowess. While his contemporaries focused on maximizing driving distance, Leonard's precision around the greens set him apart. His approach proved that a strong short game could still be a winning formula. After his playing career, Leonard transitioned into broadcasting. He joined Golf Channel as an analyst and became a respected voice in golf media. He also co-founded the JL Golf Group, specializing in golf course design and management. But Leonard's most meaningful work happens off the course. He's deeply involved in charity work, especially with children's cancer organizations. He supports Camp Matty, which provides escapes for children with cancer and their families. He also supports Camp Nate for families who have lost a child to cancer. Leonard once said his week at Camp Matty brought him the same satisfaction as winning the NCAA championship, the British Open, and being a Ryder Cup hero. That tells you everything about his priorities. His charitable work extends to organizations like the Texas Scottish Rite Hospital for Children, the Visiting Nurse Association, and the First Tee program. Leonard channels his success into making a real difference in people's lives. In February 2025, Leonard won his first Champions Tour event at the Chubb Classic. At 52 years old, he proved he could still compete at the highest level. But Leonard's real victory happened months earlier when he disqualified himself in Canada. That moment showed the world who Justin Leonard really is. Not the guy from the controversial Ryder Cup celebration, but a man of principle who puts integrity above everything else. The tragic truth about Justin Leonard: there's nothing tragic about him at all. He's exactly the kind of person golf needs more of. Someone who performs in the clutch and lives by the highest standards. Leonard's career serves as a powerful reminder that true greatness encompasses both skill and character. He stands as proof that while moments of controversy can arise, individual integrity and consistent commitment to the game spirit can ultimately define a lasting legacy. His story shows us that we're all capable of growth and redemption, that one controversial moment doesn't have to define an entire career, and that doing the right thing when nobody's watching is what separates true champions from everyone else. What do you think? Is Leonard a hero, or will that 1999 controversy always define him? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into golf history, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more incredible golf stories.